What's up, traders? It's the end of the year, and I have a little something for you here. I hope this video finds you well. I already know I'm going to have to deal with quite a few people that did not get it and try to figure out why. So I have my work cut out for me. That's why there was no trading video this week, but I do have this, and it is something you can play with in the next few days to see if it works for you. So here are some things to please do first. First off, this is for your eyes only. Do not go on any other forum and share this, please. There's a reason why you are on my list. You get stuff other people don't. And honestly, this thing here, I always say that if you miss what I send you, it's okay, because I'm going to make a video out of it down the line. I can't see myself making a video for this one, so this is pretty exclusive to you, just for being on the list. So keep it to yourself, please. Also, do not reply to the email at all. I know some of you will, and if you do, I will probably unsubscribe you, because it's that important that I don't get a ton of replies from this. If you want to thank me, plenty of ways to do that, and you can hit the thumbs up on the video. That's always one way to do it. You can also do this. A lot of you have subscribed to my list with more than one email address. This is problematic because I have to pay extra money every time the amount of people on my list reaches a certain threshold. So if you would be so kind, you now know that this email has reached you on a particular email address, if not more. Please eliminate the extra emails by going and unsubscribing. You know for sure this has found you. It will find you again in the future, and there's no longer anything to worry about. So please, if you are on my list more than one time, take yourself off. That really does help me, and it helps keep everything free for you. Conversely, if you don't do this, you are deliberately doing things to cost me money. And why would you do that? I'm on your side here. But moving on. Remember this as well. This indicator may not work that well for you. All of my indicators that I have ranked in my top 50 or top 100 have worked really well in the system that I have created. If it doesn't work for you, it's not your fault necessarily. Maybe you didn't test it enough or whatever the case is, but it just might not work for the system you're running. These are the indicators that just worked well for mine, and that's the only system that I can really speak on. So just know I'm giving you something really good, but really good in one man's opinion. So remember that. Also, you're going to have to tweak and test this thing a lot, because it gives you the option to do that, which is one of the great things about this indicator. So put it in your toolbox. Always have it there. And if it becomes part of your algorithm, great. It was a part of mine for a minute. But if it doesn't, then still keep it around. It's worth it. And in a future video, you're going to see why keeping indicators around that didn't just completely fail, that did have some redeemable quality to them, is a good move. And there are different versions of this. One of the indicators I talked about that were in my top 100 is the Arun up and down. And a handful of you have already had really good success with that indicator just because you've made it yours, and again, you have put it into your own system, which is great. But like the Arun up and down, there are different versions of this, so just be careful. Use the link I gave you in the email. I had a hard time sending links to people in the past, even as an attachment, so I just showed you the place to go and download it. We'll talk about that more in a minute. But just know there are different versions to this particular indicator, and there's one particular one that I am recommending here and sending you the link to. All right? So when I speak of the top 100 indicators that I have, I don't rank them individually. This is kind of a rough estimation. I have not given you anything in this range here except for the ATR. Maybe there will come a day. There probably will, but it's going to be a while. Some of the ones I've given you have been in this range here. Now, when I say top 100, this is what I'm talking about, really 50 to 100. The Arun up and down was probably in here somewhere. This one is going to be more kind of in here. It is better, in my opinion, than the Arun up and down was. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get to it. I can yammer on about this thing all day if I wanted to. It is called the absolute strength histogram. It is a 2 lines cross confirmation indicator. Very easy to read. We'll see it in a minute. I don't really like the histogram. I don't like the histogram most of the time, so I just get rid of it, and we'll show you how to do that. It definitely makes it less messy, and it's really, really customizable, which if you're lazy is not good news. If you are somebody who loves testing and tweaking indicators, which you should be, then you will like this very, very much. And please, click on the link I gave you in the email. It will take you to the place where you go download it. You have to scroll down about halfway through and use the link down there. I don't think we really need to do that on this video. I think you are smart enough and capable enough to figure this out. So let's go take a look at it on a chart, and we can kind of see what it's all about. So here we are at the euro-dollar daily chart, the one I use often, and it's really good now because we see some good movement and we see some really shitty movement. And this is great for demonstration purposes. You can see this horrible choppiness right here. I have not been in the euro-dollar for a while, and I would like to thank my volume indicator for that. But let's take a look at this. Where did I put it? So we're going to pop it up here, and this gives you all of the things you can tweak. It's a lot, but that is kind of a good thing because you can really fine-tune this indicator to make it exactly what you want it to be. So if I just put it up without doing anything, it's going to look like this. That's a little much for me. Again, I'm not a big fan of histograms. You really don't need it in this case. So before I do anything, what I'm going to do is go to colors, and if you ever want to just completely get rid of a color, you do this. Go to the drop down and hit this black box right here. That will make it say none. That means it just completely goes away. So if I do that with those two, there it goes. Now we have a really easy two lines cross. Now the way you read this is when the blue crosses officially above the red, that's a long signal here. And when the red crosses over the blue up, it is a short signal. A lot like the Arun up and down was, if you guys remember that. So pretty darn easy. Now you want trades that have this nice big gap in between them because that means you got a lot of pips. When things get like this, this is what you want to avoid. And a good volume indicator will keep you out of a lot of those trades. So if you're testing this and you see a lot of this mess right here, just know that if you have a good volume indicator, a lot of this wouldn't have happened. My volume indicator got me out of all of this. And I think this was even a good trade right here, but that's fine. It cut out a lot of losses, and I'm really happy for that. I was not in any of this. I might have been in a bit of that. I'll have to go look. But yeah, so just know when you're testing this, there's going to be a lot of choppiness in there, but please test it against your own volume volatility indicator to see how it would have done. Because this thing is really good when tweaked right in getting you into trends very early. So let's see here. So example, this candle right here, see the blue officially crossed the red at this point on this candle. Really nice little run. Consolidation, you might have been around for that, maybe not, and even gotten a little more. Pretty cool. And then the short signal here. I know we're cherry picking, I'm only showing you the really good ones. Got you in right there, and got you all of that. Again, this is the very, very basic version. You will make this a lot better in a very, very short amount of time. But this is what it is, and just the mechanics of the default of this indicator are really, really good on its own. Really good at predicting where price is going. And when you have something like that, it just takes a little bit of tweaking here and there to make it something you can really, really rely on. Remember, traders, your confirmation indicator is the anchor for every trade you enter. So make sure it's as good as it can possibly be. I'm actually going to jump in and do a quick edit here. I should have pointed this out. So this thing is really jagged. And when you see indicators like that, I'm tempted to avoid them because smoothing them out is really hard to do. And you definitely want something that is smoothed out. One, they're easier to read. Two, they give you a lot less false signals. But with this, and this is one of my favorite parts about it, I don't know if you noticed, but on these inputs right here, it gives you the option to just smooth it out just by tweaking one value. So if I turn that 1 into, let's say, a 4, let's see what that does. Makes it a lot better, huh? A lot of that really awful choppiness where you got into a bunch of bad trades has been eliminated. There's still a little bit. Now you got to make sure you don't over smooth it because it might get you into really good trades much later, and that's something you're going to have to play with. But the ability to smooth this out and turn it from a very jagged, choppy indicator into something that works a lot better is as easy as tweaking one setting. That can be hard to do sometimes. So I really like that. Make sure that's not the only setting you play with because that's very lazy and you're not going to get the best out of this. But little trick there. And I was actually done with the video, but then I remembered that, so I jumped back in and just so I could show you that part. So remember that too. But if you're able to smooth this out and tweak it the right way, combined with a really good volume indicator, you can really go places with this. So I hope you enjoy it. Go play with your new toy, and I hope you get a lot out of it. And even if you don't, it is good enough to where you should keep it around just in case, because you never know. So I hope you like it, and if you follow directions and don't reply to this email and get rid of some of those excess emails that you no longer need because you know this has found you well, I will be more compelled to do this more often in 2019. So we look forward to that. I look forward to seeing you on the podcast on Monday, and until then, get it.